This is the Yamaha CS-30 from 1977. At the time, it was Yamaha's all-analog flagship monosynth, and in my estimation, it's a masterpiece. It is perfect. In future videos, I want to do some live patching and go through all the ins and outs of this thing, but for now, I just would like to share an overview. The signal path starts with these two VCOs, which are controlled independently either by the onboard sequencer or the keyboard. There's pulse width modulation, there is frequency modulation, other modulation sources, which you're going to find is a theme here. And moving on, we have two independent filters, which makes this a stereo synthesizer. Very unusual. The two filters have different features about them and different sources that can feed into them that are switched right here with these hard switches and hard dials that change the modulation sources. There are two VCAs with ring modulation on one of them and a VCO 1 sine wave that you can mix in. Again, you can choose what you feed into it and what envelope is used to affect these VCAs by these switches. Speaking of envelopes, we have three kind of different envelopes. And again, they have these source switches, which allows you to trigger them either by the keyboard, the onboard sequencer, or an external source with an envelope follower. And there are really 5 envelope shapes because you get, in 2 of the envelopes, you get the inverse of whatever you have set, which is pretty powerful. And then finally, this 8-step sequencer with an independent clock, or it could be triggered outside. Currently, I'm running it with an internal clock, and as you see, it's running because I'm using it to trigger envelope 1 right here, which is actually set to re-trigger the VCF as it steps through its sequence. So if I hold a note, you can hear it re-triggering every time it takes a step. But the VCF is also in this patch being triggered by the LFO, which is really set over here in the performance section. So there's a single LFO, however, so that's where you set the speed and the depth and such. But where you use the modulator, you choose its function individually. You choose the shape of that LFO at the point of what it's modulating, right? It's a little different, but it's really powerful. So it's one LFO, one master global LFO with lots of different shapes, and that's another powerful thing. So I'm using all 3. I'm playing the patch, of course, at a certain tempo, and I've got the LFO running at its own speed and the sequencer running at its own speed, which creates 3 different kinds of movement and motion in this patch. So that's a first look at the CS-30. Just an overview. Stay tuned for those in-depth patching sessions. And until next time, be well.